Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Namaste session and experience. Deepening, awakening, joining, all of it. This is our opportunity. This is what we came for. This is what we came to this planet for. This moment, so that we can become and realize that we are instruments of peace. And that is so needed right now, especially at this time when everything seems to be up in the air, literally. And we are being called upon to serve in the highest level by knowing who we are and why we're here, knowing what it is we want. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Desire. We cannot overemphasize that the key to the awakening is realizing what you want, what you desire, based upon who you are. Not who you think you are or believe you are, but who you are in truth. The desire for that alone. We can think we are or want so many things, and this is the problem. This is what distracts and splits our mind, is by focusing on so many different things all the time, changing every moment, instead of becoming single with my eye and realizing that there's only one thing to want. That's the key. There's only one thing for me to desire. And when I desire that one thing, I see that I am that. I've always been that. I never left heaven. It's whole and complete within me right now. But it's that desire and that longing for that experience that opens the gate to heaven. We've said this before, that people may say, well, why should I desire and want something I am? Well, the simple answer is those are words. If you don't really believe that, if you're not in the experience of that, then the path is, in one way or another, in one form or another, just to love the beloved, to love the divine with your whole mind, your whole heart, and your whole soul, to be single in that. To come into the experience of this desire that there's only one thing for you to want, because there's only one thing that is real in this universe, and that's love, and I am that love. This is not an intellectual idea we're talking about. This is a real experience, to know this at the deepest part. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to vacillate and be in the full experience and then retreat into the ego, like that rubber band that pulls back and forth until finally it breaks. That's normal. And yet this is why we come together. This is why we have this support every single day, to join and to be able to share this. So this is why we're here, and this is what we're going to do today. We're going to share another lesson from this project I've been working on that Barack has been helping me with, the impersonal light. I just randomly chose a small section here this morning. It really seemed to speak to me about this desire. And so I thought it would speak to you as well. So, hold on. Good girl. Lily's with me here at my feet, so she may want out in a moment, but she's okay for now. All right. So let me share this lesson with all of you. I'm going to go very slow, so you can really drink this in, because there's so much. This is like when you download a big file that comes in a zipped form, a zipped file. Everything is inside there, but it has to be unzipped so that you can actually access it and see it and realize it. And this is very similar. This is so packed. So we need to go slow so that we can really be able to just feel each part of it and unzip it within our own minds. Here we go. Everybody take a nice deep breath. Okay, so here we go. There's nothing I desire, since I am forever complete. But there is great desire within you. This is your I am, the truth of who you are speaking directly to you. There is nothing I desire, the I am, since I am forever complete. But there is great desire within you. In fact, one could say that's all that's within you is great desire for this, for that, for something else. It's really the foundation of the ego's life, to want so many things that you never are able to focus on the one thing that will help you realize and experience your wholeness. You seem to desire many things, but in truth there is only one thing that you long for: to know and to experience your oneness with me, with your I am presence. This is the longing that drives you, and it is also the longing that completes you, since the desire you feel is for what you are now and will forever be. That's a beautiful sentence. This is the longing that drives you. We feel this pulling us, driving us every moment if we really pay attention. And it is also the longing that completes you, since the desire you feel is for what you are now and will forever be. To know that and to see that everywhere, to see that in everyone. That's the key. This longing was planted in you by me, which is another way of saying it was planted in you by you. I love that. It was planted by me, which is another way of saying that you planted it there for you to find, and you have found it. You thought it was hidden somewhere, but it never was. It was within you all along. One of my favorite parts of the art of spiritual peacemaking is one simple story where it talks about looking for something that you dearly love, that you think you lost, and you're looking for it in the yard outside. You're looking for it everywhere. You're looking under branches and under rocks and under trees, and you look for a long, long time, and you never find it until finally you say, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep looking for this thing. And so you go back inside the house, and you sit down, and you look next to you. And there it was, the whole time, within. Just as we look outside ourselves constantly, trying to find that thing that we think we lost, but it's always been whole and revealed within us. That's the key. So once again, this longing was planted in you by me, which is another way of saying it was planted in you by you. And though you cannot escape its pull, you can misidentify it. Misidentifying it means that you're looking for it out here rather than within here, within you, where it can always easily be found. In this deep state of sleep you find yourself in, it's easy to believe that this longing I'm describing is for something that you think you see, but which cannot actually be seen at all. Wow. This longing is for something that you think you see, but which cannot actually be seen at all. It cannot be seen because it's not really there. That that you think you're longing for, or think you're seeing outside yourself, or desiring outside yourself, isn't really there. This is the experience. And remember, it's impossible for you to see anything unless it's first seen by me, or the I am within you. Once again, it's impossible for you to see anything unless it is first seen by me, the I am within you. I see only what is real, and I disregard what is not real. You, on the other hand, believe that you can see something that is not really there. You believe you can see something that is not really there. Why? And here's the answer. This is a big one. Because you're afraid of what is there. Wow. You're afraid of who you really are. You're afraid of the light that is so bright within you that we hide in shadows, talking a great game, saying this is the only thing I want while we're out there seeking an innumerable number of other things, instead of going within and realizing that it's already there. Just like that ring or whatever that beautiful thing is we think we lost outside that we find sitting right next to us within. Okay, just a bit more. For example, you sense an overpowering desire for completion, and so you look outside yourself for another person to complete you. The problem is, here goes, there's no one outside you and you're already complete. Isn't that beautiful? This is the one thing you're afraid to realize, your own completeness. You're looking for something or someone who can make the longing you feel vanish. You're looking for something or someone that can make the longing within you vanish. But has this strategy ever really worked? I think if we're honest with ourselves, we'll say that it hasn't. In fact, that's the next sentence. If you're honest with yourself, you'll admit that it hasn't. The longing may seem to be satisfied for a moment, or for an hour, or even a week. You meet someone that you fall in love with, and maybe just for a week or so, that longing seems to disappear. But it will inevitably return because you actually know what you're really longing for. Deep within you, you know what you're really longing for, though you're reluctant to consciously admit this. Why? Well, it goes back to what we read before, because you're afraid of what's within you. You're afraid of what's whole within you. There's no reason for that. And that's why we join, to support one another. Okay, one more little part. And this is the one thing that seems to separate you from the full realization of who I am. I long for nothing while you long for something. Something you believe to be outside who you are. What I'm telling you is that you are everything. You are everything, just as I am. Begin by trusting that I can see something that you cannot see. And then slowly your sight will clear and you'll be able to recognize what has always been recognizable to me. That's a really beautiful, beautiful expression of what we're all moving to and through and toward and in. It's already there. We just have to stop looking outside and go and sit within. Okay, let me let Lily out here 1 second. She's whining. You go outside. So, I'm just going to turn it over to Vicky now, since I think I've given us everything we need to chew on for the moment. Now let's see how we make this practical. Good morning, Vicky.
Good morning, Jimmy. And this is easy. What we're if we understand we're already complete, even if we only in our mind are willing to accept that. If I can only accept it with my mind, say it's not my experience, and I think I'm looking for something outside of myself. If I can test this out and say, all right, I'm already complete, and let me unzip that file that's me. What is that file that needs to be unzipped? That it comes and shows up as, as what I look like, as me. And as each of us unzips our own I am consciousness, our own center, it's inevitable that we came with something to give. And the way we get that completion and the way that we find ourselves is in the giving of what we are. And I was thinking of this before we started this morning, before you came up with this theme, because I was realizing for you, Jimmy, that single desire, that knowing that is what you came to give. And you came to give it in song. You came to give it in lighthearted love and in music. You came to give that single focus. That's why you ended up in an anchor hold, to live out that single desire. I came with I'm a party to go. Teddy and I are here in the car on our way to visit Lana. I don't know if you know Lana, but a dear Christed sister who lives in New Hampshire, a couple of hours away, and we're her party to go. It's her birthday tomorrow, and we're bringing her a birthday party. And I realized And Teddy and I, this is what he and I have more in common than anything else. We both have that gift of we're the party division. The joy of God, the fun of God is what came with me. It came in with me in my consciousness, and with just the littlest unzipping seemed to be my natural gift to bring to the world, that God is fun, that joy is our nature, that we're only at home in God when we're enjoying the moment of our beingness and sharing it with one another. With Lana, and many know Lana, she has 5,000 people on her Facebook, and she gives out what her message is, sharing the love of God. And there'll be some here on this call that know Lana from that. But every word, she's an incredible artist. Everything she draws, every word she speaks, every breath she has is about sharing the love of God. We lived with Lana for a couple of years ago. And I can tell you from my experience, her zipper, when she unzipped this treasure of I'm here to share the love of God. And
Mhm.
there will not be a post you ever read from Lana or time you spend with her where you don't feel the sharing of the love of God as a brother, as a sister. And all of us, today's workbook for each of us would be to truly unzip the file, the folder, the Christ in us, and zero in on what is it that is our gift to give. And I'm noticing it because I don't have a house full of kids anymore. I don't have people coming and going in the house. And I'm realizing, oh, I need to give, because it's in the giving that I remember myself, that I remember the Christ in me, that Christ is fulfilled, and I don't seek outside of myself. It's just too much in the giving that it is the fulfillment. So here we are, party to go. Here's Teddy. You got anything,
I
Teddy?
love that. Morning,
Oh, I don't
Teddy.
know. I was just go ahead. How you doing? Well, I was when you were reading that, I was remembering when Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is
Uh-oh, you're breaking up.
within you and all around you, yet you see it not. And people think that he's saying that you can't see it, but he's not saying that. What he's saying is you see it not with the eyes. Oh, okay. You see it not with the eyes that you're using to see, because it's not in the world at all. It's within you and it's without you because you're in it. And you're created by your creator who gave you the kingdom to share with him. And as the extension, you share it with your brother. But it is not of this world, and it's used to look at the world are not the eyes. Let he who have ears to hear. So he's within you and without you because you are both in it and of it. Um, and that's the admission that you finally have to come to, that this world is unreal. You'll never find anything you want in it, no matter how hard you look. And you won't be satisfied with what you get because it's all temporal, it's all spatial. And you are eternal. You're an infinite, and you're an infinite being.
Wow. That was really cool because what was happening is you were fading in and out, and so you would hear garble, 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 and then you'd hear 3 seconds of something really profound, and then garble, 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 and then 4 seconds of something really beautiful, and then it's like kind of like phasing in and out, but whenever it would phase in, it would be this beautiful little gem. So thank you so much, Teddy and Vicky. So let's go to the Zoom room. I'm going to take a peek here, see if anyone wants to share anything. If anyone's feeling inspired, like Judy, go right ahead and unmute yourself. Good morning, Judy.